Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and this is the ST134, the SITIVIEN ST134 in D2 steel. Another SITIVIEN knife. Now, this one's a little different than some of the other ones, and I'll say it's actually pretty good. The detent is super solid on it. You can see it's ridiculously smooth action, but this thumb disc, it is super grippy, and it works extremely well. Like when I just have it in my hand, it lands exactly where I need it to, right there, and it doesn't take any effort to flick it out because it's like the texturing on it, well, not like, it does. The texturing on it grips you right back. So with very little effort, you can just sit here and flick it back and forth because of where it lands and how grippy that disc is. It also works out good for the slow roll because the detent is not like overly strong. It's just perfectly well tuned. If you break the detent, it will fly out. But when you go to slow roll it, since it is nice and grippy, it grips you back. You can slow roll it out. Now, I know some people are going to look at it and say, well, that looks like it's going to get in the way of cutting. Maybe a little bit. That is 100% a good argument. You can take it off very easily, especially for sharpening or anything like that if you wanted to put a clamp on the spine of it. Like I said, D2 steel has a unique blade shape. You can see how the spine kind of goes upwards right here, kind of like a is it a Nesmuk? A Nesmuk blade shape? Something like that. Anyways, it's going to function very similar to a drop point. The tip of the knife is going to be easy to get to. Now, we have these 3 dots there. I think that's just for weight relieving or a little bit of aesthetics. G10 scales with this pattern. Not a big fan of this pattern. Not that it does anything. I just, I think it's kind of ugly. Great access to the lock bar. The access to the lock bar is phenomenal. Whether you're left-handed or right-handed, it's very easy to get to. And another thing, lefties, this one's going to be great for you with action. It is very easy right-handed or left-handed. However, the clip is not reversible. In hand. So it's very comfortable and uncomfortable at the same time. So let me explain. The thumb disc lands so good. I mean, I have a ton of leverage on top of this thumb disc. This thumb disc is very comfortable. It ramps up right there. It gives me a nice pad to lay my hand. The ergos in this area are very comfortable. I feel the clip a little bit, but that's not really my concern. What happens is this flipper tab, yes, it's protecting you from slipping up the blade, but it's a little sharp, and when I'm in this grip, it's kind of pushing down into my pointer finger. Is it bad? No, it's just fine, and I can tell you what, I'm very locked in. So it would take quite a bit to get it out of my hand or to lose grip, but it does start getting to me right there because the jimping, it's not overly aggressive or anything, but, it's got jimping there. So, take it for what it's worth. I mean, in a reverse grip, it's pretty comfortable. In a push cut, if I go over the flipper tab, it's going to be nice and comfortable. Pinch grips are going to be pretty good. You do have this disc you have to get around, but it's relatively good. The deep carry clip is in set, but it does have the button screws. You do have this traction underneath. I don't think it'll be that big of an issue, but I do think it's kind of ugly. Like, it kind of looks like an octopus, hand, like arms or something. I don't know. But anyways, very smooth, man. Now, let's talk about the quality of SITIVIEN knives. Now, they are very budget-friendly knives. Extremely affordable, barely over $20. They're always under $30, unless if you go for the premium ones. But as far as the D2, G10, liner lock ones, they are, usually under $30. So they're very affordable, and you do get decent materials for the price. A lot of them are like $23, $25, $26. So very affordable. Now, are they the best build quality? No. But for the money, they're good build quality. So one, you get very premium action. Now the reason why it can drop shut that smooth is because they are using smaller bearings. So the smaller bearings are gonna, they're a good thing as far as the action goes, but you're not gonna get a lot of stability because the bigger the pivot is, the bigger the bearings are, the more pivot stability you get. However, it's still very solid. I mean, very, very solid, even as far as, I don't want to scratch my stuff, but here, let me grab something. Even as far as spine whacking it goes, I mean, it's very solid. So I don't want to make it seem like it's not strong or durable or anything like that, but there's still, they're so affordable that what you're getting is is a good knife, a solid cutting tool, that you can use. It's going to be easy to carry. It's going to be fun to fidget with, and it's going to cut relatively well. So no, you're not getting the high quality premium fit and finish and nice large ceramic caged bearings and detent and all that stuff. But what you're getting is an affordable knife that functions very similar to a premium knife and uses budget materials, but still for the price, quality materials for the price. Because if this was another company, you see what other companies, some of their materials, what they're using with the same materials for double the price. So, and like I said, the fit and finish, they can be a little bit rougher around the edges in some areas. Now, some of them, some of them kind of blow you away how good they are, and then other ones can be a little rough around the edges in a way. But that being said, though, you're not paying for that. So I think what you're paying, you're definitely getting your money's worth, if that makes sense. And, like I said, a good functional tool that's going to be a reliable cutter for you. Now, as far as the heat treat goes, edges, and let's talk about the edges first. The edges, they come reasonably sharp. I mean, like this one right now will shave hair. So it shaves hair right out of the box. No, they're not like the best quality edges, but most companies don't come with the best quality factory edges. So it's a good factory edge considering, right? It is a high angle. I personally usually prefer a lower angle, but you can do that yourself. Sharpening tools and plunge grinds, I would rather have a better one. I'd rather have the plunge grind backed up a little bit so I have the ability to lower my angle without hitting the plunge grind. But like I said, though, with a knife like this, one, you could cut in your own choil, and two, if you did hit the plunge grind, it's not going to be that big of a deal on something like this. It would be a great functional tool, and if you did lay back the angle or anything like that, and you hit the plunge grind, and, you can see a smile back there, it's not that big of a deal. It's not a showroom knife or anything like that. The hardware is T6s. I'd rather see T8s. But again, it's difficult to argue that when it's so affordable. The heat treat. I forgot the heat treat. So, as far as the heat treat goes, no, it's not going to be a high, in my opinion, from my experience. Now, I never felt like they were bad. So I haven't sharpened, I have a bunch of them, but just being honest, I haven't sharpened all of them. I haven't tested all of them, but I do have, quite a few. But for the couple that I have sharpened and felt on the stone, they didn't feel bad. So I don't want to make it seem like the heat treatment felt bad, but it didn't feel like exceptional or anything like that. But, it felt exactly like what I should be getting for over $20, a little over $20. I'm not upset at it. I'm not mad. I don't feel like I got ripped off. I feel like I got exactly what I paid for, if not better. And I'm saying a good thing there because in many cases you're upset after spending even more money than this when you feel a heat treat of a knife and you're like, man, this should be better. I don't feel that, but I also don't feel a premium quality heat treat and all that good stuff. Now, Like I said, though, I've only sharpened a couple of them. So, my experience is very, very limited and could change over sharpening more. But like I said, I do think you're getting well worth your money with these things. There are a few other brands that I think fall in the same category that also do a very, very, very good job. Um, some of which better, but usually that's because the price goes up. Usually. But anyways, um, yeah, I just I think that for people that are in this price range and are not looking to spend more money or can't spend more money, man, you really can't go wrong with it. Now, like I said though, if you do have more money, obviously that's another story. You can spend a few more bucks and get something different. But if you're stuck in the 20 something dollar price range, man, these things are really, really good for the price. Now I have had a couple a couple experiences where they weren't the best. One of them came with some issues, and then another one had some detent lash. But with the one with the detent lash, that was really the only problem. The other one though, I did have some issues with, but that was, I've talked about it before. That was the only one that I've experienced like that. And I also had multiple messages from other people saying that theirs was great. So, anyways, just a quick look at the SITIVIEN ST134. I think that's what it was. Yes, 134. Great satin finish. Good looking satin finish. Like I said, great access to the lock bar. There is some great little details, even like how early the detent is right there. It's super early, very easy to get past. A complete guillotine. I mean, that's the type of action you expect on a much, much more expensive knife. And, I explained how they're able to do that, with a heavy blade, small bearings, that's why. But the detent's super solid. It kicks out, good ergos. It's going to cut well. And, yeah, there you guys go. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.